We're diving a little deeper into the Batman universe today with a look at the new DC series Pennyworth, which tells the untold story of Bruce Wayne's butler, Alfred Pennyworth, as a young man in England. Now, as a Batman fan, I was interested to see what a show about Alfred would even look like, as I like the younger version of him that we saw in Gotham, and this takes us even farther back and sets up how he met Thomas Wayne and how he came to work for him. The DC universe keeps expanding further into the past with this series, and of course Krypton, which tells the story of Superman's grandfather. Let's see what this show is all about with a quick recap and review of the first episode. Like and subscribe for daily content. We meet Alfred, who is fresh out of the British SAS and at a loss of what to do with his life. He's plagued by memories of his time in the service and the loss he's experienced. He wants to open a private security agency and tells his former comrades about it. In the meantime, though, he's working as a doorman and a bouncer at a club in downtown London. In a chance encounter, Alfred meets Thomas Wayne and assists him in getting his sister out of the club. Thomas gives him his card and tells him that he'll take care of any medical cost after his sister punches Alfred. Still living at home, Alfred and his father clash over what he's doing with his life and his lack of a solid career. Shots are fired into the apartment of Thomas Wayne as he's speaking to his mother on the phone. He flees the apartment and a mysterious woman comes in and finds Alfred's card in Thomas's coat. Alfred has been romancing an actress named Esme and introduces her to his parents. His father is less than thrilled with Esme though and talks down to her about her career choices. Esme ends things with Alfred after the dinner, telling him that there's just so many differences between them. As she walks away, she's pulled into a car by the mysterious woman who found Alfred's card in Thomas Wayne's coat. Alfred runs after the car but is unable to keep up. The woman tosses a note with some numbers written on it at him. He goes to the police to report the kidnapping, and when the officer leaves him alone for a second, the phone rings and he answers it. It's the woman who has Esme, and she tells him to bring her Thomas Wayne if he wants to see Esme again. Unable to reach Thomas Wayne, Alfred breaks into the home of an elderly couple and demands information about Wayne. The couple tells him that he's at an estate not far from there, and Alfred and his friends head out to the home to find him. Alfred calls the woman who has Esme from Thomas's home. Thomas explains to Alfred that the lady and her gang are trying to kill him, that he knows some information that makes him a target. Alfred brings Thomas to a place to exchange him for Esme's release, and Alfred tells him that he'll do his best to keep him alive, but that his main priority is Esme's safety. He steps out and his friends pop up and shoot them in. He calls the kidnapper and arranges his own meetup to get Esme back. Esme tries to escape and comes into a room filled with people. She screams for help, but nobody raises an eye. The man hosting the dinner simply tells the woman to take Esme back downstairs. Alfred sneaks into the estate where Esme is being held, and he ends up getting captured. Lord Harwood, the man we saw earlier at the dinner party, introduces himself to Alfred and explains that he is the head of the Raven Society, a club that wants to take back the country. He tries to persuade Alfred to join their cause, that they could use his special skill set, and that to prove himself all he needs to do is present them with Thomas Wayne. Now, the Raven Society to me was eerily reminiscent of the Court of Owls, I thought. Alfred gets the upper hand and takes out Lord Harwood and his men. He heads downstairs to find Esme, who's being tortured for information, and he easily takes the man out and saves Esme. The police arrive outside the estate as they make their way out. As Alfred returns home, he finds that his parents are being held at gunpoint by the blonde woman and her associate. Esme shows up at the house and she's brought inside as well. Alfred, Esme, and his parents fight against the lady and her associate and manage to take them out. Alfred's mother has a mean right hook apparently. Thomas Wayne comes to visit Alfred and offers him a job as his security detail. He tells Alfred that he works for the United States, and Alfred questions if he's CIA. Thomas denies this and Alfred turns the job down, as he is about to receive a medal from the Queen herself and expects his business to take off. Queen Elizabeth thanks Alfred for his service and asks him to keep quiet about what he did for his country. She tells him though that she thinks dark times are ahead. So all in all, it's a very solid beginning with some interesting twists and an intriguing plot. I have to say that I enjoyed it, although I didn't think it was even remotely anything like Batman. It reminded me a lot of the older James Bond movies, but with DC characters instead of 007. Now that's not a bad thing, mind you, but if you were expecting something like Gotham, you'll definitely be disappointed. The show is certainly not for children though, as it's on a premium network, so there was language and violence and even some brief nudity, so do keep that in mind. The production value of this show was really nice, and I thought all the visuals of London during this time period were just stunning and didn't look at all cheap. I can tell they relied on some CGI for certain things, but on the whole it looks really good, and like more practical sets dressed for the time period. I really liked most of the cast, although I thought the villains were a little cartoonish. The mystery blonde made me think of a Victorian Harley Quinn in some respects. Now I like Harley, but every Batman related show does not need to have its own version of her. I think I'll wait until all the episodes have been released and binge watch the series, as I'm not sure I'd keep up week to week. I don't think that's a reflection on the show, just how I prefer to watch things lately, and really most of us binge watch things now anyways. So I'll give this show a thumbs up, and hopefully you'll enjoy it as well. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments, and I'll speak to you soon.